Hey guys, Adam from MPW in Keysborough. Today we're here with Dale's Barra VS Commodore Ute. I guess celebrating the fact that Haltech have now come up with a plug and play Barra ECU which does all the way from BA all the way to the latest FG. When we say they support all of those vehicles, they don't just support those vehicles, they support this engine combo in anything. As you can see, it's a plug and play unit. We have literally unplugged the factory BA ECU that Dale's wired this car with and plugged in the Barra ECU. We've selected BA Series 1 manual program settings on the car, and it comes very close to firing up first shot. Now this is a fairly heavily modified engine. Dave at Frankston Engine Centre has put rods, pistons, solid cams and all the gear through it. So as I say, the only reason it's close is the fact that the engine is very heavily modified. Or with the standard vehicle, it will plug in, run, everything on your dash will work. The reason we've gone to a Haltech Elite plug and play in this is the car came in with a factory BA ECU. With the solid cams, it's very hard to tune these and get them perfect throughout the whole rev range. It's not impossible, but it is very time consuming. When we've spoken to Dale, he's got extra things that he wants to put in through this, like boost via race time. He wants different boost settings for the street, wants a rotary trim dial, so he's got different settings on launch RPMs and everything, wants to run bump, creep, and transbrake and everything, which this ECU allows you to do. So as we say, we've technically unplugged the factory ECU and plugged this in. We were making 430, 440 real world kilowatts on 16 pound with the factory ECU, and then we're going to start running this up now and see how we go with the Haltech in it. This is our first pull with the Haltech plug and play. We've done some part throttles and set up our ejector tables. Now, as you can see, it's quite fat or rich at 10.0 air fuels. We've got about 16 pound of boost in it, just creeping at the end. And we've got it set up roughly the same as what we did with the factory ECU, except for air fuels. So now what we've made 441 real world kilowatts. Now what we're going to do is, without changing anything else, we're going to pull our air fuels back up and see how we go power-wise and get them to a level where we're happy with them. We want to see about 11.5s to 11.8s on a combo like this, and then we'll see how that changes our power. Then we'll start increasing timing, and then we'll put some boost into it. That's identical boost graph, as you can see. We've obviously made more power. We've brought our air fuels from 10.0s up to 11.8s with that pull. Dead smooth across the board. And yeah, ECU's doing its job and controlling everything beautifully. Now that was with a hotter intercooler and a hotter charge, obviously, than what we had before. Now we're going to sneak a couple of degrees of timing in it and see how we go. And then we'll start putting a little bit of boost into it. Now we're not going to run this thing all the way through today. In the way of, we want to make about 520 to 540 real world kilowatts, as the car doesn't have a cage, doesn't have anything else, and Dale wants to get out and test it, and of course run 10s before the taxi. So after that pull, all we changed was timing, which brings up a very interesting point for us. As we see down the bottom of our boost graph here, we've got exactly the same boost as what we had before. Now, a lot of people associate boost creep with wastegate size or with poor performing manifolds or dump pipes or something like that. As you can see, literally, by adding more timing and making it more efficient, we've actually dropped about 3 pound of boost out on the top end. So with lower timing, we were getting boost creep. With the timing where this is starting to get happy, we've got a flat boost curve on this car now. So we've actually dropped about 3 pound and we've picked power up. So now what we're going to do is start putting some boost into it and see if we can get up to our 520, 540 goal quite easily. The other good thing about this is we can actually export all of our data logging. So we can export a data log file like that through into our data logger, which also allows us to then open the data logger, select what channel we would like to view, select an area that we would like to view it. Then we can drag anything else we want to over into here. So we can now bring our widebands over here and go, okay, beautiful. We wanted around 11 O's, 10 8s on that run because we're putting a bit of extra boost into it. So we've got 10 6s right at the tip of it, 10 9s. Then we can go over manifold pressure. So we can see that we're running 20.9 pound or 20 pound of boost in this combo to get 523 real kilowatts through a turbo 400. You can also check your battery voltage, as battery voltage is a big thing for any EFI car. So basically we can choose anything in this ECU that we would like to log throughout this and then transport it over, and we can go real time and see what the ECU is doing and use that to correlate into our tune or just our data on the track, or in a street car if you've had an issue or something, you can have your tuner log on and run through this with you. So it does make it a lot better feature than a factory ECU as well. Right, so we're a few runs in now. You've seen how the data logger works in the Haltech. You've seen how all of the changes that we make affect power and torque and boost, obviously putting timing into it and everything. As you see, we've got about 22 pound of boost in it, nice and clean along the run, 546 real kilowatts. We're going to leave it at that at the moment, just so we can get out, race it, see how the car works, see how everything else goes. We've got plenty more power to put in this. We're happy to put about 30 pound of boost into this combo at the moment, but it won't need it. There's no point going out and blowing tyres off of it. The best thing is I won't be there at the track when this is raced for the first time. I won't even be in the country, but I can still log on via a remote viewer and actually have a look at the data logging, still make adjustments to the ECU without actually being there with the vehicle. Another major benefit of having a Haltech ECU in the car. Not only that, but the Haltech backup's second to none as well, obviously. So Dale will be super happy with this. Now we're going to set up the bump, the creep, and the two-step and everything on this car, so we can obviously set up an auxiliary rev limiter by the transbrake, and then Dale can go out and race it.